Welcome to Black Businesses Matter, a podcast about why Black businesses matter and the benefits of collaborating and advocating for Black businesses to drive impact. Each episode will cover legacy, hope, Black joy, funding sources, cultural shifts, equality, and so much more. We will provide inspiration and action while spreading some joy to a thriving community of Black business owners and leading thought leaders.
I am Larvetta Loftin, your host and the founder of the L3 Agency.
Known as the brand maven who transforms organizations with her storytelling prowess, meet Larvetta L. Loftin, host of Black Businesses Matter, a podcast about why Black businesses matter and the benefits of collaborating and advocating for Black businesses to drive impact.
Okay, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Black Businesses Matter. Well, I don't have a guest today, and you all know every season I share some of my best moments that have occurred within the business, within our podcast journey. And so you guys get to just hear from me today. So it's been a lot. We've been doing a lot and we're excited for it. But I want to say, did you all know that April is National Black Women's History Month? And so we've been honoring Black women all month. But I want to say that that's what we do. We love to celebrate and shine light on Black women, on women that are collaborating with extraordinary Black businesses. And so that is what we do. But we wanted to shine some light on the person who established this day of, or this month of National Black Women's History Month. And her name is Shay Battle, and she established this in April of 2016 as the International Black Women's History Month in the city of Atlanta to uplift and support the achievements of Black and minority women and to build understanding and awareness of the contributions of Black women to the world. But what I'm finding out is I'm not seeing that in our timelines. I saw a lot for Women's History Month and I love it. And we did the same thing. But April, I'm not seeing a lot and I'm feeling a certain kind of way about that. So we definitely want to hear from you on how you may feel about that, which is why I get to tell you that we now can talk to you. We can text each other. So hold tight and give you that number so you can join our BBM fam in our community where you can learn about all exciting, exclusive events, content, special messages, because we are on the road to 100 episodes, you all. Yes, we are on this road to 100 and we want to celebrate with you. So we want to make sure that you guys are able to text us and get on that list so we can share about what we're going to do for the 100th episode. I'm excited. I didn't really see that coming, but I'm here and we are here to stay, and we've been able to really impact this world on this podcast, and I am just uberly excited and grateful. And as you all know, I am the founder of the L3 Agency. We are a full-service marketing and communications firm, and we are doing some incredible work. And so one of the things I want to really talk about in this month was I actually had my first speaking engagement with a company here in Illinois. They are an international financial company, and they were looking for a woman to speak about Black History Month. And I will tell you all, this has been a dream of mine. So I want you to know that if there's a dream that you've been writing about, that you have been praying about, that it does happen in God's timing. And so I was excited that they reached out. A good friend of mine who is a leading media, and she works in the marketing space, and a good friend of mine, she recommended us to be able to speak on, collaborating with Black businesses. And so I was just excited because my reason for starting this podcast is because I want to see more collaboration. I want to see more inclusion, and I want to see more equity. And so when I talk about that, I mean, do we think that D&I, especially with the appeal of the affirmative action and all the things that are happening to really I truly think is really stop access, because we've always had lack of access, but really stopping the access, because we are disadvantaged. And I want us to really think about what would it look like. And this was in an early episode that we had with Lanier Richardson of Chicago Trend. We talked about what would it look like if we were overfunded. So just think about that. What would it look like if your favorite Black business had everything they needed? They had HR, they had enough staff, they had the right financial company, they had attorneys, they had the marketing, they had all the things that they needed to be able to produce a very solid business. What would that look like? And so oftentimes when we look at Black businesses, and you'll say to yourself, like, why aren't they doing that? Or why don't see that? Is merely because of, lack of resources. They have to invest in certain things. And so when I built this podcast, one of the things that I wanted was I wanted people to understand that there are thriving Black businesses across the country, and that many of them hopefully will be on the Black and brown Forbes list, because there is a brown Forbes list. You all don't know that, but maybe you do know, but there is a brown Forbes list. And so we want to showcase that. So I want you to really think about, what would it look like if the Black business that you go to, the Black business owner that you are, what would it look like if you were overfunded? Sit on that for a second. Which is why we wanted to build this podcast, is because we wanted to provide founders who offer services, who offer products that could aid us in our journey. And so that's important. And so I will say that speaking, it was a fireside chat. They interviewed me, and it was really a great group. It was part of one of their affinity groups brought me in, and to really talk about. But one of the things I want to say was that they were concerned that I was going to shame people because they weren't supporting Black businesses. And that's not who I am. So I want to be clear what I am, what my company is, what our podcast. We are not about shaming others because they are unaware, right? And so we have to understand, being unaware isn't a deficit. It's just an opportunity for us to become more intentional and aware about these things. And so we hope the podcast will help you and aid you and provide some perspective that you've never seen before. And that's what we wanted, because an investor said they didn't know where to invest. And so we said, okay, let's solve a problem and build the podcast. So guys, you guys have been rocking with us for almost 3 years. We're on a road for 100 episode, and we are closing in close to over 5,000, I think, downloads. So we're continuing to grow. The one thing that we hope that you all can do is just write us a review. I don't know what it is, but I don't know why we don't write reviews, but we would love to hear what you have to say about the podcast, good, bad, or indifferent, hopefully good, or even just share an episode with someone and say, hey, I listened to this episode. I think it could be helpful. And maybe consider that business, collaborate with them, purchase from them. That's the whole purpose, is building this community where we can collaborate and advocate for these businesses. So we're in those big offices and they're looking for Black businesses. Here's what you can do. One, you can say, I don't know one, but let's take some time and listen to this podcast, which is Black Businesses Matter, right? The third thing you can do is perhaps reach out to them. You go right into the episode summary, and their information is right there where you can connect with them. We've seen connections being made where we had a guest on, connected with another guest, and they were able to establish some working relationship. That's what we want to hear. Those are the stories that we want to hear. So if you have a special story from listening to the podcast, join our family. Text BBM Fam. So BBM stands for Black Businesses Matter. Fam, F-A-M, as in short for family. So that's BBM Fam, F-A-M, all one word, BBM Fam, to 312-300-1300. Again, 312-300-1300. So guys, join us in this group so that we can continue to connect with you. If you want to be a guest, you can text guest, just guest, GUEST, to 312-300. 1300. We want to hear from you. Okay. So I wanted, my team and I were talking about the future of Black entrepreneurship. And I'm excited because I get to share some of my recent achievements of being seen. And I'm grateful for that. But in this article that was, it was in Inc., it was talking about the need for more inclusive practices and to amplify diverse voices. So when I saw that, I'm like, this is what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. We are here to amplify diverse voices, right? Some of the people that we've had have been Black. Some of the people have not. Some of them have been different ages. Some of them are unique businesses. And so really foster this place of inclusivity and see that, and that is so that we can build a more diverse, equitable, and sustainable future. That is our goal. And as a founder of an agency, we really speak to impact and building a sustainable future with the work that we do in energy, and making sure that there is equity and diversity in that space. So that's something that we do. So again, I want us to know that Black entrepreneurship is very bright, and let's continue, even though they're taking away things that, were helpful in aiding us. We have to continue to rally and unite together to build on that. And so that's why I am excited about two things. One, mentoring queens. I was interviewed in February of this year to be featured a full segment on mentoring queens, which is, it airs on Stellar Network, which is the largest, I believe it's the largest Black-owned network in the world. And it's the Stellar Network, which is, the chairman is Don Jackson of Central City Productions, and they do some amazing work. And so they have a show. It's a docuseries show, and it is, I want to make sure that I have it for you all so that you can go and check it out, because they've got some great programming that they've produced on Stellar TV. And so I really want you all to know that it is amazing, and it's operated 24/7, supported by, and it has the home of all gospel music and all this. So they interviewed me in February, and it has aired all across the country. In Chicago, it aired on NBC, and it was, I just watching it and seeing my journey of entrepreneurship, I'm going to tell you all, it was so surreal to be able to share my story. I've done a lot, much of which I don't share what I've done because I'm not here to speak about what I do, because I really believe in serving. And so I have to tell you all, it was almost like a 14-minute piece. So we had to break it up for me to share. So on my Facebook page, if you follow me, I was able to cut it up and share. And so I really want more of this, right? The fact that they're shining light on Black women all over the country and various, because when they reached out to me, my first, and I'll tell you, I really talked myself out of it. I was like, mentoring queens, I think you're talking about nonprofit, people that in the nonprofit space. And it was like, we started that way, but we feel like there are businesses and people that are advocating for certain things. And I was like, oh my gosh, like you really want to sit down with me? And so, and I say me, little old me, because I just didn't see this coming. But I will tell you, the greatest thing that came out of that was my family getting a chance to see it. My mother, unfortunately, is no longer with us, but to be able to see it. But my mother, she saw this for me well before. She would say all the time, I can't wait for the rest of the world to see how amazing you are, because I know you are amazing. And she would say that. And so the fact that, my dad, my aunt, so many of my family members got a chance to really see what I do, because they really don't believe I do. They just say I'm on the phone all the time. She's always on the phone. She's on that computer. We don't know what she does. And so for them to be able to see that and see that in a way that made them feel proud. Like my dad said, I'm so proud of you. I really did not know what you did. And so I think for me, that was what meant the world to me. So I just want you all to know that when you see me, share it with your young daughter or young, or not even a daughter, it could be a son, of just letting them know that they have someone that they can say that had to stay in the race, stay in a ring, and take mentors, allow them to speak into me, and I was able to glean off of them. And so I truly, 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 truly believe that we were created to be able to be a blessing. And if I can help change someone's view about something, one person, I'm okay with that. So it is on Stellar TV. And if you go to stellartv.com, and I want to make sure that I have that, stellartv.com, you will see me. The show featured Ebony Staton, who is an interior designer, and Angela Yee, as you all know, of the former Breakfast Club, but she also has her own podcast. And so check it out. Love to hear your thoughts about it. And so I have to say, it made me feel so oozy inside to hear my dad say that he finally knew what I did after 23 years. So I think that's funny. And then the next thing was I got an award from Iamthatwomanmovent Movement, which is an organization started by Twyla Jenkins, she has been a guest on the show. And she highlighted media mavens. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of was sitting with some of the heavy hitters in media, whom I look up to, whom I admire, and to be able to be amongst their greatness and their star in their stardom. I was truly grateful for that. That is when you say you wanted to be seen. And I say that for women, that the time will come. I don't know when, right? And that you will be seen. And so I'll be honest with you, I had a little bit of, did I deserve this? It came up, and I know it's a syndrome for that. And I said to myself, because I look at them and how long they've been in it, but what I found was that it was Morgan of Tribe. And she is a dope sister who's building an amazing platform, a media platform, and sitting with her. But the way we sat was kind of like her, then me. So it was kind of like in order, kind of from a generational standpoint. And Darlene Hill, who is also going to be featured this month, and modeling, and I can't pronounce her last name, but she was amazing reporter, Tanya Francisco. And so all of these incredible media personalities. And then it was like little old Larvetta. But I will tell you, if you check, I started off as a reporter and worked for the Chicago Bulls and reporting news from there. And the reason why I kind of left that business is because I didn't see myself in those organizations. They thought I was way too animated. And I am animated, and that's why I have my own podcast. So I took that, and I'm okay with that. I am animated, and I've embraced it, but I realized that it was definitely traumatic for me around that. So there was a lot, and I'm excited, but I also want you all to understand that while I am receiving these awards and being seen, I always want you to know that who I serve, and I serve an amazing God who saw me to be able to be a blessing to others, and I don't take that lightly, and I'm grateful for all of these moments, because the best part was my father never goes to awards for me because my mother would do that, but since she's my now angel, he went and he said, "Can I keep your award?" So that meant the world to me, that he wanted to keep my award at home so that he can look at that gave me so much joy that my father felt like, I want to hold on to this. And so that meant the world. And again, it's not about the work I do. So I just want you all to know that we are really, really, really tuned in to women and leading into women as an agency that really fosters inclusion and making sure that brands are paying attention to the power of the woman and the impact that a woman does. And so we talk about that often, in our agency. And so I'm excited when we get to blend it into our podcast, because we've had, several people to come on our podcast that were men. So we're not, this podcast is not just for women, but we've had an opportunity to sit down with some dynamic women and uplift them for their achievements as founders. And so that's the crazy part. But the one thing that I do want to say is I want to talk to you all more. I want to be able to share more inspiration around this world of entrepreneurship and this world of ownership. Because one of the things that I want everyone to know is that content, owning your own content and ownership, owning your content. So the things that you publish on social media, it becomes social medias. And so realizing that you want to build a platform where you can share your content and it also gets people to know you a little bit deeper and you can create some meaningful relationships. And so I'm just dropping this in to say, whether that's a newsletter, we have a newsletter that we dropped with LinkedIn and it's just growing and I love it. It's like a flower that's, you water it and you see it growing. And our newsletter is just growing on LinkedIn. So if you do want to connect with us, feel free to connect with us on the L3 Agency on LinkedIn and join our newsletter. We really share some really dynamic information that is published by my team, my staff, and I'm just excited about the things that we're sharing just to help you in this process with technology and storytelling. And we're going to talk about podcasting, how to leverage podcasts. So I want to say we are always looking for guests, but I will tell you, we definitely come across some amazing people that we get to tell them, hey, you want to be on the show? And they say yes. And so that's really, really cool. But if you would like to be a guest, please type guest to 312-300-1300. We love to feature you. I keep asking myself, what's next? What's next? Do I go to the 200th episode? Once we get to 100? I don't know. But give me grace. Allow this thing to grow in the way that I truly believe that's pleasing to God. And so that we can really transform narratives and that we can really create this environment that's more inclusive. So I'm hopeful for that, because when you get on a podcast, you can Google and you can log on and go. We don't have, I think podcast brings inclusivity because people can listen to it however they want to listen to it, and there's no real barrier. So we love technology when there's no barrier, when you got to ask the question, are you African American? Are you this? So I appreciate that we don't have that as a barrier, so we can allow for people to be inspired. And, but leave us a review. We love to hear what's been your best episode, what's been, even best guest, whatever it is. I mean, just say, hey, this podcast has helped me through a troubling time, or it's really helped me, to look at my business differently. Like we had, couples on, we've had couples to be able to share the dynamics from there. So I think that's also important. So we're going to keep rocking this. We're still going to keep telling stories. But what I think you can do for me, in honor of April being the National Black Women's History Month, share an episode with someone that you don't know. I'm serious, don't know. And just say, hey, this is a podcast that I think you should check out. I think you could, gain some information around, what you're doing. So maybe someone that's in DEI and say, hey, I think you should check this out. Try. And of course, if there's somebody that you do know and you say, hey, this podcast could be a podcast that could be helpful for you, and share it with them. Please do this. And I normally don't do that because I struggle with that part, but I am all in this place of being uncomfortable. And sometimes we just got to do the uncomfortable so that we can get to the currency that God sees for us. And so we have to be able to do that. And so we are excited. We are hosting an event. It'll be our first kind of exclusive BBM fam event. And so that's why it's important for you to get in our BBM fam text message community. It's BBM fam. That's one word, you guys, to 312-300-1300, because we got a great event coming up in May that we're doing, and we're inviting guests of our podcast, as well as a few others that have supported the podcast, so that we are presenting Black businesses to a pretty big organization so that they know who to go to. And so that's the whole thing, is I just want to bring access to bring access to marginalized communities. I want to show up and be a disruptor. I have talked about that, being a disruptor. Disruptor does not mean that you are mean, angry, aggressive. It just means that you're doing things the non-traditional way, and you are making others to be uncomfortable. When I say uncomfortable, meaning that it's okay to say you don't know about Black culture, and there's people that are Black that don't know about Black culture. And so, it's just bringing that to the forefront. And I think that that's important. So it's okay if you are a disruptor. So to my disruptors out there, keep disrupting and changing the world. We see you. Keep doing it. Keep shining. Keep being a goal-getter, because I love that goal-getters, #goal-getter. And when you do share, certainly our hashtags are Black Businesses Matter. That's our hashtag that we use on our platforms, but you can find us on Instagram at the L3 Agency. Black Businesses Matter has an Instagram page that we're working on. We're hoping to put more content there. But hey, guys, if you don't do anything else, we just thank you guys for just listening. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you for seeing me for the work that that's being done, and allowing for it to just be a light. I just want to be a light in these places. And so, and you know what? It also helps if you share our business, that our agency, that, we are a full service marketing and communications firm. We're certified. We have a business license. We check the boxes. So definitely keep us in mind in aspects that you think that we can do. If we can't do it, we can certainly refer you to some of our partners that we do business with, or we can honestly just say, hey, this is not something we do, but we're happy to share some other folks with you, or some referrals that we can provide. So look at us as a resource around that. So guys, thank you for listening. When I'm on, it's always weird because I want to sit and talk, because I love talking to people and connecting with people and vibing with people. I love it. But when I'm here by myself, I feel kind of strange and weird. But I still have my engineer here. So he's here, but I'm not talking to him. So it's almost like I'm just talking to the wall or talking to the mic. But it's cool. So thank you guys for rocking with us, for championing for us, for listening to us. And please join us on this road to the 100. That means the 100th episode. All right, y'all. Thank you all. And thank you for listening to another episode of Black Businesses Matter. See you all next week.
The Black Businesses Matter podcast is produced by the L3 Agency, a culturally sensitive influencer, marketing, and communications firm in Chicago, where relationships are our currency, passion is our profit maker, and people are our bottom line. Follow us on Instagram at Black Businesses Matter.